Good day, my amazing people. I hope you all are doing well. I'm Walter Thomas, and I want to welcome you to my channel, Happy Soup 88. Today, I want to discuss part one of my relationship series, and today I want to discuss presence. Now, a lot of people would be like, what are you talking about, presence? There's physical presence, mental presence, emotional presence, and also spiritual presence, if you are spiritual. But if you're not, then there's physical, mental, and emotional presence. And it's very crucial to be present in all areas, okay? Because if you're not, that means that you are technically in and out. But there's a small percentage of you being in if you're missing one of the three or the four. The physical presence, of course. The physical presence pertains to all of what you're doing with your physical being, okay? That means the physical touch. You're being affectionate and you're being intimate and you expressing how you feel. So all of that is shown outwardly, and that's through your physical being and your physical presence, okay? And with your physical presence, it will also be linked and tied to your mental presence, as well as your emotional presence and your spiritual presence, like I said, if you are spiritual. Number two, your mental presence, okay? Your mental presence. You have to be mentally available, mentally involved in your relationship in order for you to feed it, okay? Meaning how you are nurturing your significant other, how you are nurturing that relationship. And you can nurture it through your observation, like observing when your relationship is going up, when it's going down. So you have to be mentally aware of that and being able to listen to your significant other, being able to listen to your own soul, being able to be completely aware, self-awareness of who you are, self-awareness of who you are and aware of who your significant other is. You have to be aware of that, and that's through your mental presence. And with your mental presence, that's also how you're able to listen to someone's concerns, listening to their soul, what makes them happy, what makes them sad, what makes them depressed, what are their triggers, what are their traumas, what are some things that they desire, what are some things that make them feel bad, and what are the things that make them feel good and well. All of that you have to be aware. And when you are aware, you will be able to identify when something is wrong with your significant other. That's because you are mentally available, you are mentally present. And when you're mentally present, then that also links and ties back to your physical presence. Then you will be able to know how to react physically. And then when you go over to your emotional presence, your emotional presence is where your sensitivities lies, as well as your vulnerabilities, okay? And you cannot love someone if you're not vulnerable to who they are, if you're not vulnerable to their concerns, if you're not vulnerable to their triggers, if you're not vulnerable to just their overall well-being, all of their emotions. And whether if they are experiencing good emotions, happy emotions, or sad emotions, or depression, like whatever they're experiencing, you have to be emotionally available in order to be able to be nurturing to them. So when you are emotionally available and emotionally present, you can allow them to express things to you. So if they're sensitive about certain things, guess what you would do? You will be able to listen to them, which goes back to your mental presence. You will be able to listen to their concerns, and you will be able to address them accordingly. You will not ignore them and abuse them with, oh, you always doing this, or you overthinking, or you are, it's always a problem. You wouldn't be slapping them in the face with that, okay? Because you will be nurturing to them. It will not be an attack against their character or an attack against what they feel. It's just not, that's not what love revolves around. Love does not revolve around aggression. It does not revolve around hostility. It does not revolve around, this nasty, grotesque responses. You will not respond to your significant other in such a way that's just completely nonchalant and or with a narcissistic mentality. You will not do that, and that's not what love. That's not what love is. And the reason why a lot of people do that and then say they love a person is simply because they don't understand what love is. Love does not abuse. It's simple. Love does not abuse. God does not abuse. Just because you may feel like you're in a situation that may feel crippling or whatever, that's not God abusing you if you are a spiritual person. That's not the way you identify love. Say, well, God loves you. Why is he abusing you? No, that's not what it is. Life happens, okay? So with that, I want you all to understand this simple concept. Love gives. Love is nurturing. Love can most definitely be assertive. Love can correct. Love will correct. Love will bring peace. It will bring hope. It will bring happiness. It will bring stability. Love is like a platform that you walk on, just like the house you're in. There's a foundation, and that foundation is what keeps the house together. Now, if your foundation is shattered and all over the place, the house is it's gonna fall apart. It's gonna cause severe problems. So you have to have a solid foundation in order to have a solid relationship. And without housing your physical presence, your mental presence, and your emotional presence, and as well as your spiritual presence, you don't have anything to keep your foundation up. So love is the key, real love. And there's a difference than love, lust, and strong liking someone. Okay, because you can like someone, and then the minute they do something to just really irritate you or piss you off, now you're completely against this person and you've gone on by your day. Because love wouldn't do that. Love would stay there. Love is you have to be wise in order to truly love. Okay, there's a difference than loving your mother. Loving your mother is more natural. Okay, she carried you. There's a different instinct. There's a different type of love there, as well as family. But when you're in a intimate love, romantic love, that's different. That requires you to put in work. That requires you to go above and beyond than the other relationships that you're familiar with having, such as your friends and your family and your co-workers and things of that nature. But to truly have a truly romantic and healthy relationship, you have to understand the dynamics of love, and you have to put in the work. It is required for you to put in the work. It is I can't say it again. It is a requirement for you to put in the work. It is a requirement for you to be consistent. Okay, you have to be consistent, and you have to understand the difference once again between lust and strong like. Because if you're strong liking someone, like I said, you will get up and walk away and give a second when they piss you off, or they may do something you don't like. And when you're lusting after someone, it's all about how can they make you feel good, sexually mostly, or how do they look next to you so that you can get more attention, so you can feel like somebody. Lusting or liking someone because they have a certain career and they're making this type of money and certain house and cars and things of that nature and what they can do for you. But when you love someone, the external things can change, okay? And you'll still be there. You'll still be there. You will hold their hand. They can slip and fall and have a major accident. One of their limbs are off. Or something happen and they can get a cancer or something and their physical aesthetics or physique changes. Or there could be a bankruptcy or something happen and lose their job. They don't have the car and the house anymore. And how would you feel about that person? So if that changes, that's simply because you don't love that person. This is simple. There's no, this is not a fact. This is not an opinion. This is a fact. When you like someone, when the car goes and the house goes, you goes. Because you came into it the wrong way. You came in it just to look like something, so other people that don't really have a life can sit around and talk about it. People that don't value themselves, or people that don't have a true identity, usually sit around talking about, oh, look at Janice and Kyle, they're over there. Well, they have a Jaguar and a Range Rover and a Mercedes and a Bentley and a Rolls Royce and this big mansion and their CEO. See, people that don't really find themselves important usually sit around doing things like that. People that find themselves important don't really care because they truly see the importance of what life is about. And material things, just not. It's important to get you from point A to point B, but it is not that important. It is not a life or death situation to have a car or to have a house. So you can live in a car and transition yourself, because many people will live in buses and have a lot of money because that's what they want to do. That's the lifestyle they chose. So guess what? You don't have to have all these things and the white picket fence and all of that to be deemed successful. You don't need all of that. So therefore, don't revolve relationships around that. And therefore, if you do, you are in a liking type of status. Most definitely not love. Anyway, people, remember, physical, mental, and emotional presence is a must, and spiritual presence is also a must for those who are spiritual. Until then, have a good one. Like and subscribe if you would like to. If not, I hope you take this message. You can share it to somebody else that may need to benefit from this. Have a good one. Bye.